Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode of Beyond the South Stand with me, Jez Davies. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you're all very well. As we approach our two festive games, I've enlisted the help of two of my co-presenters, Mr. Morgan Hewitt. Hi, Morgan. And
hello.
Hello. For our audio listeners, say hello, please. I know you're trying to save your voice.
Me? Hello. Yeah. Hello.
And Mr. Adi Coote has also joined us as well. Hello, Adi. How are you?
Yeah, hi, Jez. I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, all right. Looking forward to this evening's festivities. I can tell you're both really looking forward to it as well.
Very festive shirt you've got on.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just I don't know why I found this little number, but yeah, I thought I'd make a special effort for the occasion.
I did as well.
Yeah, it looks good.
Hang on. For the video.
Oh my God!
My black t-shirt into my trousers. You've got a belt.
That border's doing you no favours at all there.
I'm sorry for our listeners at home. I'm not very well, so I'm trying to power through this with 2 days before Christmas. Thanks, whoever gave this to me, Jez.
Well, thanks for coming on. So no, I really do appreciate it. So we had a match. Well, it feels like ages ago now, but it's Saturday against Preston. We were unlucky, weren't we?
Depending on which way you look at it, because if you'd have asked for a 1-1 draw before the game, I think most people would have torn your arm off for that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's always galling to concede in pretty much the last kick of the game. By the same measure, they're third in the table. Mm-hmm. We're still second from bottom. So,
yeah, I mean, I think for 3 minutes of Saturday, AD, we were outside of the relegation zone because obviously it was a 12:30 kickoff, and the 2 extra points had us very briefly outside the relegation zone. I mean, what were your thoughts about the game?
Yeah, I was playing, so, but I hope nobody from Philby Management is listening to this. But I came in during the warm up because we kick off at 2:30. So between sort of 1:45 and 2:30, we're out warming up. But I had to keep sneaking in just to see how we're getting on. Yeah. And I saw we went 1-0 up and then went out because it was quite late on in the game. And I'm thinking in my head, oh, wow, we've managed to sort of snatch one, and that's great. And came in at half time, had a quick sneak peek on my phone again, saw that Preston equalised even later on. And yeah, I mean, there is that element of disappointment. Like, what would have been 3 points would have been really handy for us. It isn't, but I think there's lots of hope to take from that. I think, now probably more so than any point this season. I know we shouldn't be talking in terms of this because it was much more upbeat pre-season when we were talking, but I genuinely feel like we won't be relegated. I feel like we've got enough about us to avoid that. I don't want to get complacent with it, but I just feel like I've seen enough recently to be much more hopeful about that. I'm not talking about playoff pushes or, pushing for top 6 or whatever. I think, we just get ourselves as far away from that bottom 3 as we can, as quickly as we can, and then finish the season strongly. And that's, I guess, all we can ask. But yeah, I feel like I've seen enough to be hopeful. I mean, Preston on their patch, they're doing all right this season. I said before the game, if we think that we're improving, this will be a real good test of where we are compared to where we think we are. And we very nearly come away with a win. And I think, 1-0 win away at third place Preston is a huge result. But it's only a huge result if you then start backing it up with successive performances. We've got a couple of home games to kind of be more on the front foot and a chance to be kind of more attacking. You look at both Charlton and Watford and you think, any other season, you're looking at them as home fixtures and thinking, with there's 6 points up for grabs here, but obviously it feels different this season. But I feel hopeful that that's what we would be looking to get. I think both teams are beatable when we play our best.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I think we'll touch on those games a little bit later. But I think you're right. I think we would have taken a draw before the game, as Morgan said, and I think it would have, we would have been happy with that. But I think it was just the manner of it, wasn't it? And I think the fact that we've already done that 2 or 3 times. What I feel, I'm with you, Eddie. I don't think we'll get relegated now. Because I think we'll pick up enough points more than others around us because of how he's installed that belief in that team so far. Because I don't think a few weeks ago we would have rocked up at Deepdale and expected to draw against third in the league.
No, Morgan. We'd have been deeply daled.
Deeply daled, yeah.
I don't know what that means. Had a few Lemsip capsules today, and I think that's probably the end of me for this year. Oh, I don't know, but yes. Anyway, the football. Would have been deep daled by Preston North End, and it's not an easy place to go. I just sound like I'm an absolute breeze, don't I? Just sound like I'm talking absolute nonsense. I mean, that's what you get. That's what you get.
It's fine. It's not a problem. So, I don't think the press conference has been done yet. So I think it's going to be tomorrow, isn't it? I would have thought for Charlton. So we don't really know yet who's going to be in or who's going to be out. Didn't look like there was many injuries other than Forson at the weekend, and it was good news about Sargent coming in. So I'll put this across to you, AD, to save Morgan's Lemsip voice. What do you think Norwich City's sort of key strengths and weaknesses are going into that Boxing Day clash against Charlton, and which players do you think can make the biggest impact?
I mean, obviously, we wouldn't have been saying this a month or so ago, but I genuinely feel, and we're still a club on the move, moving away from where we were to where we want to be. I feel playing at home is a strength. Seems ironic given that we've lost our first 7 games, but there seems to be a bit more of a connect now, a bit more of a kind of positivity around the club, within the fans, within the players, and it's one of the few home games this season that I'm going into with like positive expectation and not any air of negativity around it. Like, I genuinely feel hopeful that we can pick up a result, and I feel like a lot of people I've spoken to, that fans feel similar. So I think obviously being at home is a strength for the crowd that we've got. We always have terrific turnouts on Boxing Day. I remember doing the commentary for one of the more recent ones when we were at home to Nottingham Forest, and I remember us going 3-0 down with about 20 minutes left to play. And somehow we managed to come away with a 3-3 draw, scoring 2 goals in injury time, and the atmosphere, I've never experienced anything like it when that third equalising goal went in, and we'd only drawn the game, but the roof came off. I think it was O'Neill scored, and it was just unbelievable. So, they do come out and support on Boxing Day, the fans. So we've got that working in our favour. I think, weaknesses, I just think our current injury situation has got to be something that is holding us back, not being able to kind of field the same starting 11 week in, week out, and start building some consistency amongst them and some chemistry and, a way of playing. So, it feels like each game that we're constantly having to adapt slightly or accommodate or just change things or tweak things a little bit, to be able to have the same starting 11. I don't know what the injury situation is like. I know we've got players coming back, but that always seems to be countered with news that somebody else has picked up something. I think another real positive is, and I say current form based, probably since the new manager has come in, but Makama, Pelle Matson, two that really stand out for me and absolutely being on form at the moment, and 2 names, it's really hard to say this about Josh Sargent, given how much he's kind of contributed and stuff like that. Does he get in on current form and McCarman's current form? I think, you'd like to find a place in the side for him, but again, that would just mean putting one of our most informed players out of position again, which seems to be working. Don't get me wrong, he's gotten goals, but it's just interesting for the manager to have that to sort of think about. And if he can get back to having conversations where the manager's got a headache around who he picks as opposed to the headache of who he can't pick, I think that will become a positive again, because this squad has got some real ability in it, and early signs are the new manager is starting to get some of the best out of that.
I think what's good about it, AD, is the fact that although we have had that injury crisis, he's actually picking players in their true position, other than obviously Forson that's been playing out on the wing. And there has been some consistency in the selection with Kovacic, the back four with obviously Fisher, McConville, Darling, and Grisene, games, Matson and McLean just in front. And I think building that solid base is why we're a little less leaky now. Obviously, we haven't kept a clean sheet, but we've only conceded one in those games. And as you mentioned, McCarman's just come out of, I wouldn't say he's come out of nowhere, but I think he's certainly showing his strengths. And what I mean by that is his attributes of how big he is, and the way he turned that defender on Saturday was class. And I never thought I would ask this question, but Springett or Sargent for Saturday?
Who's that? Sorry,
to Morgan. Springett or Sargent for Saturday?
Springett.
Yeah, and I agree.
You sprung it on me.
Sprung it. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, McCarman's on form, right? So
yeah, why would you change him?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's an obvious one. And also, like, I want to bring this up because I wrote something about this on the Pinkin forum the other day, but some people are like, oh well, Springett is, he's just about making it in the Championship, blah blah blah, and it's like, well, I don't know, but we always seem to give our grads like a real rough ride of things. Like, our expectation levels are dialed up to 11, and I don't know whether that's something that a lot of other clubs have, but we always seem to like ride the backs of our grads, academy grads, really hard. And the guy's been out injured for like 18 months off and on, hasn't had a steady run, and he's been dropped into the starting 11, and he's done what's been asked of him. He's done what has been needed. He's grafted, and I think I just find it really odd when people have these expectations of these players that have come through the academy and are trying their hardest. I mean, AD, yourself as a former pro, just how hard it is to get to that point, to be selected for that starting 11. So I think sometimes we just need to be a little bit patient with these players. I mean, that's kind of my thinking with it. Like, we have a tendency to have these high expectations, our academy grads, but it leaves them for no margin for error. And I get that that's modern life and modern football, but at the same time, like, these are guys who are still finding their feet in their career. Do you know what I mean? Have I just gone off on a massive tangent?
No, no, because I completely agree, and I think Philippe Clement is got enough about him. He's managed in some of the biggest leagues in Europe, managed some of the biggest teams in Europe. He isn't going to pick Anthony Springett on a whim, particularly when he's got a few other candidates that can play in that role. And I wouldn't say he's picked him consistently, but obviously, he was lucky in the sense that obviously Forson came off injured quite soon. into that game. But then he was the preferred selection in the previous game as well, which we won 2-1. And I think he's actually in both games acquitted himself. And when he has to play left back as well, that's not his natural role. Comes with a lot of criticism, as you say, Morgan. And I'd be interested to know your opinion on it, because I just think sometimes that's unfair. I think he's actually done okay.
Yeah, and I think that's where the problem lays a little bit, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with okay. But, one of the things that we've experienced as Norwich fans is young players coming in and taking their opportunity and delivering from match one and putting in a performance or a couple of early performances that you look at and think, whoa, they're in the team now. And I just don't think he's ever put one of those performances in. You think of Todd Cantwell and how he came in, and you think of Johnny Rowe and how he came in, and, what McCalm is kind of doing now. They are putting themselves in a position where the manager can't not pick them. And so whilst, somebody comes in and does okay, what you really need them to be doing is taking that opportunity with a performance that says to the manager, right, you pick me every game now. And I think that's what's been missing a little bit. So whilst there's no criticism of him at all in terms of what he's done, I also think positionally, you're much more attacking players tend to kind of grab that attention more, if you like, with those kind of dynamic attacking performance and stuff like that just sticks fresh in your mind. And sometimes that grind and that, boring, hard stuff that needs doing can get overlooked. I think one thing Adam Eder was, I think, guilty of, probably the wrong word. One thing that we never got from him was a standout run of performances. He banged the hat-trick in against Luton, from what I can remember. And, everyone looked at that and thought, right, he's in now. And it was never followed up with anything else that just made him stand out head and shoulders above all the other striking options that we had. Like, he was one of those players you could understand if he was picked, but you could understand if he was left out. And I think you think about Sargent last season, Timu Pukki, McCarman now, they absolutely won't be left out because of what they're doing in current form. And I think that's what they need to kind of bring, become undroppable. Yeah,
it's a fair shout, to be fair.
But Adi, you're saying this from a perspective of a sort of like forward player. I mean, like when we spoke, if you cast your mind back, Jez, to when we spoke to Gary Holt over the summer, and he talked about, in cycling terms, I'm going to use this, the domestique. So, those players that sort of make up the peloton in the middle that get your hill climbers or your Mark Cavendishes, if you guys like cycling, I do or did, to that point. And, again, like, okay, Springett might not pick up like any major plaudits, but he's doing the job of a domestique or an Andrew Sermon, for example. He is,
and there's no questioning that. But like, again, what I'm saying, and because managers have come in, various managers, and he's been in, he's been out. He's doing it no better than anyone else is doing it, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that he's a bad player or he's doing it worse than anyone else, but he's not doing that job significantly better than all the other options in that position, if that makes sense. So I want from him is to put himself in a position where he has to be picked, and it is a really important role, and it doesn't always get the credit and the attention that it deserves. But based on, management selections, he's doing that role okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's, I think it's a fair.
Do you know what I mean? So there's no criticism, that he's not doing his job or he's not doing what's asked. But in terms of like the original questions to young players and expectations and stuff like that, I think we've seen so many young players come in and deliver from their first 2 or 3 performances, and then got themselves in the team, and then ultimately have been moved on to bigger clubs. And he's had some opportunities to come in, and whilst he's never let us down or done anything bad, he hasn't done anything that says to the manager next game, right, you're definitely picking me. I can do this job better than anyone else we've got here.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why, there's a question mark over whether he's going to be selected. Is that because obviously with Sargent coming back in, and if Makama's available, the option there is do you shoehorn a striker that's just scored off the back of scoring 3 goals, or do you put Sargent out there, or do you put Springett out there, who, as you say, didn't set the world alight, but actually, what other option at the moment, until the transfer window opens, until we get all of our wingers, Diallo comes back, or until whoever comes back, what else? It's only those. That's the only sort of 2 options, maybe 3 options, unless he changes the system, which I can't see.
No,
because he's been quite rigid.
But if he did, I think I've seen enough in early games to trust him with that.
Yeah.
To be able to say, okay, I weren't expecting this, but you've been working with him the last few weeks, and you've said things and you've done things that have shown me that you've got the outcome and the progress of this team in mind. Let's go with it. And so in that sense, I think he will make those calls based on what he sees and what's in the best interests of the whole club in terms of progressing and winning games. Because he said when he came, didn't he? He's here to win matches.
No, definitely, 100%.
So
I'm just going to rephrase. Obviously, I've done question 2, but I just want to rephrase that question a little bit. We're all very aware of the injury issues, fitness issues within this squad. It's been talked about from Philippe Clement day one. He made him do the bleep test in his first training session. We've now got a situation where we've got 2 games in 3 days, albeit they're both at home. How do you see it in terms of obviously that squad management piece, in terms of are we going to see the same lineup, or is he going to rest some of the players in the first game to then bring him in the second game, or how do you see it? How do you see it playing out? I'll probably go with AD first, if that's all right.
It's a busy period, and I think he's going to need all his fit players over all the games we've got coming up, and that includes players that we've talked about. I know we've moved well on from this, but the sub on, sub off incident with yes, and the way that was managed, and it could have quite easily been left with a disgruntled player and potentially kind of drifting out of Norwich. But I think the way it's been done is to make this player hungrier, and I feel like at some point we're going to need him. And so the fact that the manager's now got him chomping at the bit on the bench to kind of seize his opportunity when he gets it, I think is a good place to have players. Encouraging them to go out there and take your chance. Look, I can't use this 11 players for all the games we've got coming up over Christmas. I am absolutely going to need you. So if I was any one of those fringe players, I'm sitting there thinking over Christmas, right, it might not be this game on Boxing Day, but sometime I'm going to get my opportunity and I need to make sure I'm ready. And so, from that point of view, what you can't afford is to pick up another few injuries, because that would have just, be really, really difficult and frustrating. But what you then start to do is you start to give a little bit more match exposure to players that you want to, bring into your squad of players. And instead of having a solid bank of about 15 or 16 players that you would turn to if they were fit, you kind of then start broadening that out to 20, 22, 24 players, and giving the manager a real headache in terms of not just the 11 that he starts, but players that he leaves out of the squad. And knowing, from what I see and from what I've heard in terms of how he operates, the players in the squad that he picks is going to be based on, what's been going on in training, attitudes, commitment to the cause and stuff like that. He wouldn't suffer fools, and, he wouldn't take any passengers along. So, it's just time for some of the players to step up, I think.
Completely agree. What do you reckon, Morgan?
In terms of the squad rotation over Christmas?
Correct.
I mean, AD, pretty much what AD sort of said has covered it. My perspective is I'd love to see a consistent run of, of 11, where they're sort of all sort of firing together. But ain't going to happen, is it? Because of the nature of the beast and the amount of games that we've got. I mean, let's not forget that, okay, Christmas is a busy period, but also that bleeds into the new year. And with second half of the season starts. So it's about damage limitation, in terms of just keeping certain players fit. Kvistgaden, Makama, Sargent, coming back from his concussion. Our defence, it's it's important. We're lacking a Forsen now again, and so rotation is key. It's an obvious thing to say. It's key. Luckily, I'd like to think that we will also dip our toe into the transfer market in January. Yeah, a given, really. And I know it's usually quite difficult in terms of how prices fall, but we don't really have a choice. We don't have a choice. We've been hamstrung by some serious injury problems, and
no pun intended.
Yeah. Who do you blame for that? No. I'm not going to sit here and point fingers, but yeah, it's about rotation and I guess investment in January. I hate saying this because it feels a bit uncomfortable, but we have the financial capability to make that happen now, whereas I don't think we did before.
No, completely agree. Right, I want to leave us enough time to do Jez's Jingle Balls football quiz. So, have you both got a bit of paper in front of you?
Yes.
Can get one? Yeah.
So,
can I tell you my Christmas joke?
Of course.
Please do.
What's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman?
Go on.
Snowballs.
Very good.
What Christmas cracker did you get that out of?
My wife told me it.
It's very good. I like it. Any from you, Morgan? That are clean and able to share on this podcast.
I do a random question of the week. I don't do jokes, so whatever.
Oh well, that's coming later, so it needs to be well.
Oh, Christmas question of the week. That'd be a good one.
Morgan's Christmas question of the
week. I like your Christmas tree hanging out in the background there.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I got a Christmas question for you.
Go on.
What year was Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas" number one? UK number one.
1992.
Nah, I think it was 95.
It never was.
Ah.
There you go.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It was never UK Christmas number one.
Oh.
What was?
Yeah.
What
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get that far. I was just shocked to hear that it wasn't. Given the iconic song it is, that's my wedding song. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. My wedding anniversary on Christmas Eve at Dunstan Hall.
Can I quickly interject with a question? It's not the random question yet, but what's your favourite Christmas song? And you have to have one. There's no top 5 or top 3 or whatever. What's your favourite?
My one?
Either or.
Pogues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jez?
Fairy Tale New York, yeah, Pogues.
Do you both want to know a weird thing that I do every single year with the Pogues?
Go
on. After Halloween, because it's when Christmas seems to get earlier every year, I bet with myself to see how long it takes for me to hear the Fairy Tale of New York and then I'd
Yeah.
make a mental note of that date. I lost this year. I think it was, I'm looking at the calendar now. Last Tuesday, I heard it for the first time this year. But usually I play the game to try and see when it happens. But last year it was like Christmas Eve. Mine is Jonah Louis, Stop the Cavalry, which is actually Did you know?
Why, just out of interest, why did the Scarecrow get a big Christmas bonus?
For being outstanding in his field.
Yes.
Oh,
Brilliant.
That's not Olden, that's golden.
Indeed.
Anyway, Stop the Cavalry was actually an anti-war song that was put out by Stiff Records that Jonah Louis was on at the time. But they were like, well, we'll put it out at Christmas because we've got the brass band. But it wasn't actually supposed to be a Christmas song. Factoid for those music geeks out there in the world.
Oh, Jez has just had to rub out one of his questions now, hasn't he?
It's not the first time he's had to rub one out. You've gone on mute, Jez.
He's put us on mute, hasn't he?
He's put himself on mute.
There we go. Am I back?
You are.
I was still trying to react to that quip. Right, are you ready, boys?
Yeah.
I'd like a piece of paper with A, B, C, and D written on it, please. Clearly, so the camera can see it. Whilst you're doing that,
can you see that?
It needs to be bigger.
Bigger?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, okay, hang on. So, I'm going to give some multiple choice answers, right? And I want you to put up what you think the answer is going to be. So it literally needs to be like about as big as that. So if you think it's B, you just write B.
Oh, so you mean I need multiple bits of paper?
Oh yes.
Right, hold on.
Should have explained that, shouldn't I? Be like a bit of.
Sorry about the envelope.
Not a problem.
I didn't see it. It's okay.
I do like a bit of Last Christmas.
I'm absolutely tired of hearing that song.
Yeah, Christmas, I gave you mine, and the very next day. Yeah, that's perfect. Right, here we go. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Can I just make a tally next to my ABCDs?
Well, just do what AD did. That'd be fine. Right, here we go. Is everyone strapped in and ready to go?
I've got post-it notes, even better than yours, AD.
I'm on about 10% battery, if that helps.
We need to go then, don't we? Okay. Welcome to Jez's Jingle Balls Christmas quiz, everyone. Today's contestants are Mr. Morgan Hewitt from Dereham. Hello, Morgan.
Hello. Hello.
I'd like to just give a little fun fact about yourself to the audience.
So, hi, audience. I'm Morgan Hewitt. I'm from Dereham, co-host of this podcast called Beyond the Barclay. And an interesting fact about myself is there's nothing interesting about me. Okay.
Second guest today, Mr. Adrian Coots from somewhere in East Norfolk, Galston.
Yarmouth.
Yarmouth. Let's go with Yarmouth. Yarmouth's fine. No, Haysborough's Ollie, isn't it? Yarmouth. AD is 44.
1.
Cool. Sorry, you're waiting for me. I'm 47.
Yeah. 47, yeah. AD's 47. And if you'd like to give us a little fun fact about you, Mr. Adrian Coote.
Fun fact about me is, oh gosh, I've been on Countdown.
Excellent fact. Right, okay, let's get into it. So, gentlemen, question 1. Who is the all-time FIFA World Cup top scorer? And the options are A, Ronaldo, and that is the Brazilian Ronaldo, just for clarity. B, Miroslav Klose. C, Gerd Müller, or D, Pelé. And you can just put your answers on the screen in, and don't do it. You've got to do it in 3 seconds, because obviously I don't want you to put them up and give each other clues. So 3, 2, 1. Okay. Do you want to know the scores now, or at the end?
Go for it.
The answer was Miroslav Klose. So Mr. AD Cook takes the first point.
First blood.
Yes. Just realised this is going to be rubbish for the audio listeners. So whilst you've put it up, just say B, A, B, C, or D as well, please. You can tell I'll never make it on ITV. Countdown, yeah. Question 2. Which country won the first ever UEFA European Championship in 1960? Was it A, the Soviet Union, or Soviet, depending on where you're from? B, La España. C, West Germany, or D, France? 5,
I'm going for C.
3, 2.
C.
B.
Okay. So you're both wrong. The answer was the Soviet Union. Question 3. Which country hosted the 2014 FIFA World Cup? Was it A, South Africa?
Sorry?
South Africa. Was it B, Germany? Was it C, Russia? Or was it D, Brazil?
I'm going for B.
Okay.
Hold on, what were the options again? Sorry.
Right,
No,
I'll do it
sorry,
normally,
you don't
rather
get
than-
another chance. You don't get another chance. It's not Countdown, mate.
Right. A, South Africa, B, Germany, C, Russia, or D, Brazil?
B.
Gosh. Oh,
He's got to be disqualified for this. This is taking over 3 minutes, 3 seconds. He's gone.
D.
The answer was D, Brazil.
Oh.
So, just a reminder to everyone at home, the scores on the doors currently are 2 to Mr. Adrian Coote and 0 to Morgan. And there's only 2 questions left, so you got to do something to pull this one round, Morgan.
I can. Don't you worry about it.
Question 4.
I was a defender, 80. Defender growing up, so my job to stop you.
Okay. Question 4. Who were the first British side to win the European Cup? Was it A, Manchester United, B, Celtic, C, Liverpool, or D, Nottingham Forest?
D.
B.
The answer was B, Celtic, which means A.
No!
But we will do question 5 anyway, just for shits and gigs. Question 5. Which of these clubs have never played in the Premier League? And the options are Oldham, A, B, Barnsley, C, Plymouth, or D, Blackpool?
It's got to be B.
Okay, AD.
C.
Excuse me. It is C, Plymouth, which means AD has won by 4-0. Yeah.
I thought you said Portsmouth.
Plymouth.
Oh,
Plymouth Argyle. So, okay. Well, that was fun. Quite enjoyed that. That's given me a tremendous sense of, I don't know what the word is really, but Morgan, as a forfeit, you have to do Morgan's Christmas question of the week.
it was always going to happen anyway.
True. Well done, AD. Well done on winning that.
Thank you. What's my prize?
You get to host this podcast for another year.
Oh,
You get to do You know what? You get to do co-coms with Rob Butler at Norwich City matches.
yes, love that.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Morgan, turn the chair around. Put on a Christmas hat, whatever you need to do.
Oh, I'm sorry about this, everyone. I'm not feeling 100%. So,
I could very well cut off at any minute, just so you guys know.
okay.
Okay, we'll try and be as quick as possible.
No pressure. No pressure.
We'll try and be quick.
Random question. Christmas Oh.
Brilliant.
Random Christmas question of the week.
Oh, Dave.
Favorite Christmas film?
80.
Oh, so I remember posting about this a few years ago, and it got a few adverse reactions to it. But I'll stand by it. I think Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone.
Oh,
And so Home Alone 2 for me.
that's
Yeah.
bold. I'm
Elf.
not sure about that one, AD, if I'm honest. I'm really not.
Elf for me. Will Ferrell
Elf.
is superb. Morgan?
Muppets Christmas Carol. It's got to be.
Oh,
There goes Mr. Humbug. There goes Mr. Grimm. If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, before AD's battery runs out, I'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, AD. Merry Christmas, Morgan. Thanks for coming on.
Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to you all.
Still not too late to tune into our Christmas special, which was filmed at Dereham Town. We cooked some burgers, so do feel free to check that out. Everyone else, just as I say, please like and subscribe on our channel for more great content. Please also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X for updates. I think AD's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, but also you can watch our faces on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can watch us on YouTube as well. Do
And
like
who
and
wouldn't
do
want
like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. We haven't said about being sponsored by Master Seal and Pie Design, who have been absolute stalwarts the last year for us. So it's been a journey. It's been a madcap journey. It's been a race to the end. Christmas never seems to end, but Master Seal and Pie Design, thank you very much from the bottoms of our hearts. You've just clicked on thank you.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
That was good.
Just to say thank you, really. So
thank you for turning up and tuning in and putting up with our stupidity and wild ride, hasn't it, eh?
We'll be back in the new year. We've got some good guests in the new year. We've got Connor Sanderson, who is a football coach in the south of. I was trying to think where he lives. It's Southampton, isn't it? He's based.
Yeah.
Which will be a very very thought-provoking episode. I think we've also got Martin Treneman, who is probably most known as Simon's dad from the In-Betweeners. So yeah, 2026 got a few decent episodes plus our usual madness. So I think we'll probably have to say goodbye, Morgan, before we descend into absolute chaos. So thanks,
but
my friend.
The chaos is what we love.
Of course. Thank you for all your hard work and support this year as well, Morgan.
Well, I mean, to be honest, if it wasn't for you and your fertilizer, this wouldn't be as growth as it has been.
Looks good, mate. Enjoy it.
Do you want to touch it?
Enjoy the hair. Oh, that way, isn't it? No, it's that way. Yeah, there we go. Right. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy your Christmases.